Thought I'd check in with y'all. How y'all been? Hopefully y'all been all right. Wanted to touch on this TD Jakes situation. If y'all haven't heard what happened today. All right, let me go ahead and get started. Looks like TD Jakes had some type of medical episode while he was preaching today at his church. So, just to get things out the way, pray that man okay. Pray that man pull through. But with that said, I'm going to title this, God Ain't to Be Played With, man. It was some dude, I was making a comment about it. Some dude, I don't know if he was a bot or you know, when I go through his posts, all his posts got one like type shit. So I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of suspect. Like, nigga, you ain't got nothing with like 5 likes or 10 likes or nothing like that. So he might have been a bot. But he said, what do you mean when you say play with God? So I asked him a bunch of questions like, man, are you a foundational Black American or are you a tether? And the reason why I asked him that, because every Black person that is foundational knows something about God. We know something. Even if we ain't following it or practicing it, we know about it. So that's why I asked him like man, hold up. And I know if you grew up with a grandma, a granddad, and foundational, oh man, you're gonna get told about God. And like my grandma's favorite saying, God rest my grandma's soul. Her favorite saying, God don't like ugly. And he ain't too fond of cute. You understand? So these are sayings that is in the Black community, foundational Black community. So it just made me think, man, he must be a tether or a bot. But bottom line is, what I meant, typing and talking is 2 different things, man. But if that brother was on here, I would tell him, playing with God, man, you can't play with God. We all play with God off the rip, because we all sinners. In some shape, form, or fashion, we all sin in some shape, form, or fashion because we imperfect humans. That's why people go to church. That's why people have religion, to have some type of faith, or have some type of belief, have some type of something where you feel like, man, okay, I know I'm messing up. Let me go talk to God. Or, God, I need your help. Something along them lines. But God knows we imperfect because he created us, right? Now, it's levels to this. TD Jakes happened to be on a larger level. He says he's anointed, which means God picked him to be the shepherd over his flock, right? That's what anointed means. That means God picked you, or you feel like God ordained you. So, you said God ordained you because you're anointed. But you are hanging out with P. Diddy and the likes of Hollywood and the music industry. We know the music industry. We know Hollywood is very perverted. because we know who runs Hollywood and we know who runs the music industry, and them type of folk pick and choose when they want to do their religion. Now, if you say something slick or say something they don't like, you're going to be considered anti. I ain't got to say the rest. But when they doing their dirt or they doing all their wrongs, it's okay. And if you notice, Hollywood will mock Christianity, but they don't mock their religion. They'll mock everybody's religion but theirs. You can't mock their religion because you'd be considered anti. So that should tell you right there that them people in Hollywood, in the music industry, man, they walk a crooked line, man. And they pick and choose when they want to use their religion. So this is who T.D. Jakes is hanging around, and you saying you a man of God and you are and you anointed? I don't know, brother. I don't know. So for you to have a medical episode while you was preaching today says a lot. Some people say it was staged. I mean, it could be a number of things, because Puffy is in deep waters, man. And the longer he's sitting there, the more he'd be willing to crack. He'd be more willing to talk. If he get to talking and start giving away tapes, or, you know, saying, hey, I got tapes of such and such. I got tapes of such and such. I got tapes of, you know, this person, that person. Hey, man, it can get a little tricky for people. So that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of anxiety. Knowing somebody got something over your head. Because they say he had cameras. They say Puff had a lot of cameras throughout his house. Or houses. So, no telling what he got to try to bail himself out. Because the way it look right now, they trying to give him all day. Puff can't do all day, man. Puff ain't built like that. Puff been rich and famous since 94, 95. That's 30 years, man. That's 30 years of just having it your way. You think he gonna be able to get that lifestyle up without telling on somebody? That man gonna crack, man. And that's why they keep denying him. They say he might get bailed this week, you know, before Thanksgiving. But I wouldn't hold my breath. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath. Because they know. See, these people study us. They know his dad, which I don't know. His dad's name was Melvin Combs. His dad was connected to Nicky Barnes and them crew. They said his dad knew some information he was going to tell, so they took his dad out. So that's Puffy's dad. That's what happened to Melvin Combs, his dad. So is it in Puff DNA? Or is Puff going to stand strong? I don't know. You mix lifestyle, you mix DNA. Hey, man, that man might get to singing. T.D. Jakes right there. J-Lo right there. Jay-Z right there. Beyonce right there. Kelly Rowland right there. Cardi B right there. All these celebrities that came out. Oprah right there. All these celebrities that came out for Kamala during this election is all the celebrities on the P. Diddy list. They all partied with P. Diddy. Puffy had nothing but infamous parties, they say. And it was men, women, drinks, drugs, anything you can imagine. So why would T.D. Jakes, a man that says he's anointed, be frolicking with that? Even, you know, when you of God, you're not supposed to be of the world. So why is he even going to a party? Why is he even associating? Puff talking about that's my pastor. What kind of pastor is that? What? Okay, let's say he is your pastor, but why he need to go to the party? You know, why he could just be your pastor? You come to him. You know, you got the Potter House. You can come to the Potter House. So that's why I say, man, God ain't to be played with. See? So the brother that was saying what he was saying on Facebook, saying like, what you mean, man? We all sin. We all playing with God. Hey, man, it's different levels to God, man. Sin is sin, but it's different levels, man. You can't play in God's face like that, though. You can't be a clergyman or a man that you say is anointed, and you a power bottom, or you going with gas, and man, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, that's super messy. It's already bad for a regular person who ain't claiming that it's bad for them, or a man that's cheat on his wife, a wife that cheat on her husband. Hey, man, all these things is sinful, but hey, man, ain't nobody claiming to be anointed, though. See, you can't put that word on you and then fall back on, well, God know my heart and God know. No, brother, sister. You said you are anointed. So God picked you out of all people to preach and get all this riches, all kind of houses and planes and trains and things. You getting from the people, because the people believe you are what you say you are. You say you are a man of God and God anointed you. So the flock is following you. You the shepherd. Where you leading them to, TD? Where you leading them to, Mr. Jakes? If y'all know anything about Bishop Eddie Long, rest in peace to Bishop Eddie Long. But Bishop Eddie Long had a similar situation, but he was messing with the men in the church. It's like 5 men that came out and said, man, listen, he showered us with gifts. He did X, Y, and D. He did basically what a man would do with a woman, as far as totally has your back this holiday. As far as showering with gifts and taking them on lavish trips and, things to swarm, and they can be like, oh man. Then he bounced on literally, right? So it started getting out there because, okay, one come out, oh man, he lying, he just trying to get money from me. Then another one come out. So it ended up being 5 of them. This man was buff, worked out, looked very strong. Bishop Eddie Long looked at, man, that man looked strong, man. Like he can lift some weights and very powerful, right? The more he kept lying, it seemed like the more weight he kept losing. The more sickly he started looking. He had one press conference where he said, I got 5 rocks and I ain't thrown one. But the way he looked and the way he did his hand, it just let you know, like, yeah, that man kind of flimsy. That man that man got some sugar in his tank. But he held on strong to the end. But he kept getting more and more sickly. Then he had to remove himself because he got too sick. And then he had to make a statement about, him having cancer or something to that degree, something about his health. And it just wasn't long after that, man, that man passed away. And that's the end of Bishop Eddie Long. That's the end of him. And the reason why I'm saying the two is because he was a man that said he was anointed. Go back to listen to Bishop Eddie Long in his preaching. God anointed me. I'm anointed, and you can't do. I'm God. I'm the one. Okay, cool. We feel you. But he was living a double life, man. He was messing with the men in the church, man. And I don't know if it's cancer or if it was something else, but bottom line, that man passed away and he held on to that lie. He never just came and said, listen, you know what I mean? Like one of them moments, man, like I did it, man. I was messing with these men, you know, I caught something or whatever it may have been. You get what I'm saying? He never did that. So that's what I mean by playing in God's face, man. You saying you a man of God and you doing all the wickedness, man. That's you can't do that, brother. Same thing with TD Jakes. You can't do that, brother. We want to believe he right, but hey, man, things are starting to come out, man, about that man. And Puff locked up now, so like the pressure is on. So you know the Fed's investigating everybody. That's why J-Lo was up there crying and all that extra shit she was doing. She really crying because she know, man, she on the docket. Them folk is on the docket. It's real. It's really real, man. They own the docket. Oprah, all of them, man. Every last celebrity at Party with Puffy is on that list because they don't know. Oh, man, that night, yeah, I was wilding. You know what I mean? And he recorded these things? My God, you don't know. You don't know what Puff might have on you. So I can imagine the anxiety and the stress that they having right now. Like, yo, what did I do that night? And if they did drugs and drank, and they might not remember everything they did, man, it might get crazy for them. So TD Jakes could be under a lot of stress just in general, knowing that your empire that you created and this double life you living is coming to an end. And how do you do that, dog? Like just so, you know, it's men regular, just everyday men and women that commit suicide because of things they feel like, man, I just can't bear to deal with it. If it's going to jail, whatever it may be. But being a man of his stature and falling from grace like that, man, I couldn't even imagine, man. I could not even imagine. Real talk. I couldn't imagine, man, having all the riches, you know, all these people believing in you, and I mean everything from your kids to your wife to your family, your friends. Man, I couldn't imagine that you got to come out and say, listen, man, I was living two lifestyles. That's rough, man. That's really rough. That's rough. So how do he do that? So let's pray for the man. Let's pray he pulled through. But Cat Williams said in his interview with Shannon Sharpe about all these people, he said another word, but I'm going to say all these people is going to be exposed. And Cat Williams looking like a prophet right now because all these celebrities is being exposed. Literally. Kamala was donated. They gave, well, not gave. She raised $1.something billion, right? Now the woman is in $20 million worth of debt, right? So now she got to show her ledger. She got to show where her money went to. See, if she would have just spent the billion and not been in debt, because now she's not able to pay staffers, things of that nature, right? Let's say she would have had her books clean. She can walk off clean. But since her books ain't clean and she $20 million in debt, you got to pay that bread back. You got to get that money up. So now they need to say, hey, open the books up. Let's see where you sent the money to. Guess what, y'all? Newsflash. All these celebrities that was on the Diddy list and all them other celebrities that might not been on the Diddy list, but they was all campaigning for Kamala, like, yeah, Kamala's the best one. And come to find out, they being paid. They was being paid. Allegedly. Beyonce, 10 million. Oprah got $1 million. Al Sharpton got like $500,000. So many celebrities got money, man. They was being paid to support Kamala. So like I said, man, Cat Williams looking like a prophet because they being exposed right before our eyes. So y'all enjoy y'all night, man. Just think about that. Just think, man. Just look at what's going on right now in the world, man. Think about it. All right? Y'all enjoy y'all night. Peace.